You're only enslaved if you can't control your mind. So while you can, and while you don't have the whole world against you, or you don't have a lot of worries, freeing your mind.
XXXTentacion sat down for an interview and said something most people completely slept on. He said you are only enslaved if you cannot control your mind. That one sentence changed everything for me. So today we are going to talk about the Matrix, what it actually is, how it keeps you locked in, and exactly how you escape it. Not with conspiracy theories, with your mind.
From birth is creation. That's all humans do. Everything around you was created. You were created. That table over there created, this chair created, this mic created, that camera created, that hat created. The whole point of a human.
X understood something that most people spend their whole lives missing. The whole point of being human is not to survive. It is not to fit in. It is not to follow the path that was laid out for you before you were even born. It is to create and to evolve. Everything around you was created. The chair you are sitting on, the phone in your hand, the building above your head. All of it started as a thought in someone's mind before it became physical reality. That means reality is not fixed. It bends. It responds to thought. The Matrix is what happens when you forget that. When you stop creating and start just reacting. When you let the world shape you instead of you shaping the world. Most people are not living their lives. They are living someone else's idea of what their life should look like. That is the trap. Nobody walks into a prison willingly. They build it around you slowly. It starts with distraction, noise, content, consumption. Just enough stimulation to keep you busy, but never enough depth to make you think. Here is what X said directly. The minute you slow down your thought, you are able to leave your body, reach a different realm entirely. Now think about that in reverse. If slowing down your mind frees you, what does a mind that never stops do to you? It keeps you here, reactive, anxious, scrolling, chasing, never still, never present, never quiet enough to hear your own thoughts clearly. That is not an accident. A distracted mind is a controlled mind. And X knew that at an age when most people are still figuring out who they are.
It's keeping you still and delaying your evolution. The whole point of life is evolution. Study your laws of the universe.
X told people to study their laws, not the laws of man, the laws of the universe, the law of attraction, the law of abundance, cause and effect, the karmic cycle. But the one that hits hardest is the law of equivalent exchange. You only receive what you are willing to become, not what you wish for, not what you pray for passively, what you exchange, your time, your energy, your old self. That is what determines what enters your life. Most people want a new life, but they are not willing to release the old one. They want freedom while holding on to every chain. The Matrix keeps you comfortable enough to stay and miserable enough to complain. That is the sweet spot. That is exactly where it wants you. If this is making you think, you are already ahead of most people. Stay with me because it gets deeper.
Astral project or meditate or reach a higher level of thinking, or to make your soul basically leave your body, bro. That's the only way you're gonna get out of jail. That's the only fucking way, and all that shit is possible. Look up astral projection, all of that shit is.
That is step one. Stillness. Not the absence of thought, the observation of it. You sit with your mind long enough to realize you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. The moment that clicks, everything shifts. Step two is creation. X was clear. The whole purpose of being human is to create, not consume. not compare. Create. You write, you build, you make something. Anything. Every single act of creation is an act of freedom. You are exercising the same force that built every civilization that ever existed. Step 3 is intention. You stop moving through life on autopilot. You start asking, why am I doing this? Who told me I wanted this? Is this actually mine, or was it handed to me? Most people never ask those questions. Most people live and die inside a story written by someone else. X understood that sitting in a jail cell at 19 years old. He had nothing but his mind. And he said that was enough to reach other realms entirely. X said the ideal death is completion. You served your purpose. You created. You evolved. He did not get the time most people get. But look at what he did with the time he had. He fed people. He clothed people. He gave back. He left music that is still changing lives. He left words that are still waking people up. That is what evolution looks like. That is what creation looks like. Not just in art, in how you move through the world. So the question is not whether the Matrix is real. The question is, are you conscious enough to see the walls? Because the second you see them, you have already started to escape. Free your mind. Everything else follows. If this opened something in you, subscribe. There is more where this came from. And drop a comment below. What is the one chain you are ready to let go of? I read.